Hey guys, it's Tanisha from Mommy and Me back with another video. So today we're going to be talking about Abeka's pre-K to K4 Bible Kit. I think that's what it's called. I'm going to leave the link in the description box below with the correct title. So I'm just going to jump straight into it. This is our second video in our Abeka series. I have a lot of content to show you, so I really don't want to take too much time in the intro. So with the Abeka Bible kit, it does come with this cute songbook, and it has like different common songs in it, common gospel songs. God is good, God made me, things like that. And it also comes with the CD, so it actually has a disc that comes with it. I am not 100% sure where that disc is right now, but it does come with it. Here, this is the actual Bible curriculum, and this is the lesson plan. So if you can see here, you will see all the different components of what it comes with. So you have the CD and then these 5 books along with the actual lesson plan book. The lesson plan is pretty much straightforward. You have a scope and sequence that looks like this, and they break it down for each month. So here you have your September to February, and then on the other side you will have your March through June, and it will just tell you which Bible stories you're reading, what memory verses you're going to be teaching the child, and what songs you will be learning. A thing I really love about Abeka, they spell everything out. They tell you exactly what to say, how to say it, what the child's answers might be, how they might vary, and things of that nature. So it's a very step-by-step type of curriculum, and I think it would be easy for anybody to pretty much use, at least here. So here you would see the Bible daily lesson plan. And this is just the first lesson, day 1. So you see here it says the pledge, new song, prayer, verse. Then it has a new song again, Bible lesson. There's this poem, and it'll tell you which one you're teaching. And now the first lesson, they get very, very detailed just to kind of give you a gist of how it goes. As the lessons progress, they kind of get shortened, where they tell you exactly what you're doing, but it's the same layout as far as the first lesson goes. Now, I started this when my daughter was 3. She loved the singing, but I think as far as the teaching goes with the stories, it was probably a little too much. I found it took me a really long time to get through the stories, and I'm going to show you the books that have the stories as well and how I had set it up to make it easier for me. So this is something where now that she's 5, I'm probably going to go back to these and use as the Bible kit for now, because we haven't used them since she was 3. It was just not, she wasn't really grasping anything besides the songs and the Bible verses, but the stories, I think they were just too long. So I'm gonna show you, there's the Old Testament stories, and this comes with 10 stories right here. And then you have Old Testament stories part 2. This has another 8 stories here. Then you have the New Testament stories that has 11 stories. And this is part 2 that has another 11 stories. Then you have the holiday stories that have 7 stories. And this is mainly about the holidays. So I'm going to show you book 2 of the Old Testament stories. Well, actually, I'm going to show you the New Testament stories, because we got through book 1 and book 2. And those I kind of had set it up for when I used them. And I'm going to show you how I did that as well. So what I didn't like is that it's hard to maneuver with these books, right? So they have flashcard Bible stories. And what that means is they'll have pictures to go along with the actual story. So here you have the first story is talking about Jesus' boyhood, and it shows you which flashcards basically that's in the book to use. Now, my issue with it is, like, if the stories are in the middle of the book, you have pictures in the beginning, and then you have pictures at the end. Now, how am I gonna flip through and go from the picture to the story, from the picture to the story? That was a little too much for me. So what I did, each book that I was going through, I pretty much recycled everything, and I have like a huge box of sheet protectors that I've had since college. Okay, don't judge me, but they came in handy now. And what I did was I took out all of the flashcards for whatever I was using, whatever book I was using, in this case book 1 and then book 2, and I got a binder, a 3-ring binder, and I put them in here. So it was easy for me to just kind of flip through the different pictures as we went through the stories. And I love the pictures with Abeka. They're bright, they're colorful, they're very like captivating and eye-catching for a little kid. So she loves going through the pictures, and from the pictures, what I saw did help when she was younger, using the pictures for her to retell us the story in her own way. So that way worked for us. Now that she's a little older, I feel like she would be able to actually sit down throughout the story. I did try to break the stories down into smaller parts, but that didn't work well either. I think it's something where you really have to make it fun. Now, let's see. So another thing that I like is that in the book itself, so see, this was the first book, and I pretty much broke it down into the days of when I would read it to make it shorter segments for her. But what they do is, let me see if I can find it. Here at the end, they have review questions, and the review questions are for all the different lessons. So what I did, another part of the binder that I made, I would print out all the questions on a paper. So when we finish the lesson, I'll have the questions already sitting there with the answers for me to answer. So in that case, I'm not flipping back and forth between the books. So the only thing I actually used the book for was I would be able to read the story to her while she has this with the pictures, and we're like pretty much going through. That's how I use that. Now, another thing that was not, so it didn't come with, did it come with the packet? I don't remember if it came with the pack or not, but it was these Bible memory picture cards, and there were 26 of them, just a picture, and then it had a memory verse. And we did memorize most of these memory verses, but again, this is something that I will be coming back to this school year. We're about to restart the Bible program, this particular one, next week. Another thing that did not come with the pack, and I'm sure because I bought separate, was a K4 Bible activity book, and it does go along with the actual Bible plan. So they'll tell you the specific days of when you would use it. Normally it would be on Fridays, but it just had things to go along, and it's just like, it's very, very simple, tracing the dots, coloring the pictures, but it was kind of like an activity to go along with each one of the books. Now, I probably wouldn't get this again. Very, very simple. I feel like I could probably just look for things online and kind of create something for myself instead of buying this. But at that time, it was pretty handy, and I do have it now. Like I said, with all the Abeka products, I try my best to get the unbounded so I can just make pictures as much time, make copies as much times as I want. So I will be using this though with the Bible kit as we start next week, and we try to use this again. Overall, I don't think it's a bad kit. It is packed with a lot of information, packed with a lot of activities. I like how they merge together the singing and the Bible verses and the stories, and I really love the aspect of the big flashcards of the pictures to go along with the stories. I would just say you gotta kind of figure out what age to start at. For me, my daughter was not able to maintain any type of focus to get through these stories. But now, as I said, since she's older, I do believe that it will be easier for her to get through. So we're gonna try it out again and see. But that's pretty much it. That is the K4 Bible kit. I will leave all the links below for everything that I talked about in this video, and stay tuned for next week, because next week we will be moving on to K4, what is it, the entire K4 child kit. And that's basically like the complete curriculum Abeka had for 4-year-olds. So stay tuned for that. And until next time, guys, see you later.